What is up, Copy Squad? It's your boy, Kyle Milligan, coming to you live from Boca Raton, Florida. And today I want to talk about why free stuff is bad. I got this inspired today because someone asked to work for me for free. And I thought about it, and the idea is to exchange some sort of mentorship, some sort of lessons, learning, and they'll work for free. An unpaid internship, if you will. And my initial knee-jerk reaction is I don't see how either one of us benefits from that arrangement. I didn't get into it with him personally, but my thoughts are, I'll give my basis for this instance, and I'm also going to tell you how free stuff can hurt your business, how free stuff can hurt your clients, and how free stuff can hurt your prospects. So with this particular thing, working for free, I know that with copywriting, there is the idea of spec work. You turn in some work and you hope you get the job because you did a good job. I think that's a little bit different than working for someone for free, which just sounds more like an employment sort of deal. But basically, when someone is having to work for someone for free, that means they aren't working for someone else, or they're taking away time that they could be working for pay. And whenever you're taking away time that you could be working for pay, first, you're not getting paid. So that's an issue. It means, okay, so if you're working for experience, then you're taking that experience and you're going to go try to apply it for pay. So who's going to end up suffering on the receiving end of effort? It's probably going to be the person that you're working for free so that you can work harder to get more money. You're kind of siphoning knowledge there. So my knee-jerk reaction is working for free doesn't really benefit either party. For the person who is working for me, I won't benefit that much, I don't think, because they'll be just basically trying to siphon information and then go apply that to some sort of paid gig. That's not great. And then, so I'm getting harmed there. I won't be getting 100% effort. They won't be getting any pay, so that obviously is harmful for them. So they're having a huge opportunity cost and short-term relationship where they might help for a little while and then bail and take their knowledge and run. That hurts the whole relationship, right? So I just kind of wanted to talk about that a little bit because it came up today and spawned this whole idea of working for free and getting free stuff. Now, in Oren Klaff's book called Pitch Anything, all right, I want to talk to you about this. He says that people want what they can't have, chase that which moves away from them, and value that which they pay for, which I've always thought was a really important lesson. I got some examples for you on that. So we talked about someone working for free, and if they don't really value getting paid, the word free still applies here. If they don't, have the value for getting paid, they're not going to give 100% effort, right? So that's not something very valuable to them, that job. It doesn't have a very high, there's no reason to give 110%, right? Because you value which you pay for, and you chase that which moves away from you. Basically, you want what you can't have as rule number one, right? So if you can't afford or have the time or have the skills, you will go acquire those skills. You will go figure out a way to afford the thing, and it will make you a better person in the long run. And I know this is some philosophical shit that doesn't really apply to copywriting directly, but I will get into business now. I'm going to go ahead and just go straight to that. Another example, let's talk about free stuff in the form of events and tickets. Events and tickets. And this is something I've been thinking about with the Copy Squad Inner Circle, because when people bought my back-end product called The Process for the price was $800 at the time, I grandfathered them into a squad that I hadn't built yet called the Copy Squad Inner Circle. And my fear was, well, they're not really paying for the Copy Squad Inner Circle, they're paying for the process. So I worry that they won't really appreciate the community that they've got access to. And I've seen kind of a split. I've seen a lot of people just not engaging who were grandfathered in, but I have seen some people who are actually leaders in engagement who got grandfathered in. So it's kind of I don't have the jury's still out on that, but I do have another example. And this is termed this is a free bonus example, right? So free bonus. So I recently purchased a $2,000 Knowledge Business Blueprint by Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi. And I ended up buying that because of this irresistible offer from Russell Brunson, where he pitched this incredible bonus stack of $130,000 worth of products from his ClickFunnels group mastermind inner circle thing that he had. And he basically just went around the room and said, who would throw in something for free? And he just stacked it up. And I had that irresistible offer pull where I was like, holy crap, I can't say no to all these bonuses. It's way too much value. I'd be a fool not to buy, right? It's a lesson in irresistible offer. So I bought, right? I paid $2,000 to get in the Knowledge Business Blueprint and get all those bonuses. But guess what happened? I haven't looked at the bonuses. I have been looking at the Knowledge Business Blueprint, and I'm not even all the way through it. And guess who's going to finish it very soon? Because I'm going to finish it as fast as possible because I paid for it, right? I paid the money to get the program. I didn't actually pay for those bonuses. They kind of came with it, and I haven't really gone back to look up those things. The thing that I paid for, the Knowledge of Business Blueprint, is the thing that I keep coming back to and trying to go through, and it's a fantastic product so far. Basically, he had all these free things, right? So they don't really benefit me because I didn't pay for them. So they were great in getting me through the door, getting me to take the offer. But they didn't really benefit me because I didn't pay for them, so I don't really value them the way I value the actual core product. That's the thing I'm going to go through, right? Even though the other things might be just as good or valuable, I value the thing that I paid for, okay? So, and then it doesn't really benefit the people who sold it to me or offered it up because we're not building that relationship. They're not getting an opportunity to bring me into their world and indoctrinate me and then sell me on other products, okay? Another example, free tickets, free events, free sort of gatherings, anything like that. So I'll give you an example, two examples. There was some sort of reference in a book. I can't remember if it was a scientific study or an anecdotal reference, but basically concert, there are tickets out. People paid like $70, $80, something like that for tickets. Someone got a ticket for free. Bad weather happens. The person with the ticket they paid for ends up going. The person with the free ticket stays home. There's no investment. They don't value that which they did not pay for. I can give you a more scientific answer. If you look at, my girlfriend is a hairstylist and she does these hair education classes and they're live. You go to like a salon and she'll teach you about hair, right? The people who get like some sort of special offer where they end up getting a ticket for free, like via Instagram or Facebook or some sort of like contest or whatever, sometimes whenever there's not enough hoops to jump through or hurdles, those folks who get free tickets some way or another, like through the salon itself or something like that, they can often not show. While people who pay for these tickets are far more likely to attend, right? So people value that which they pay for. So it helps out my girlfriend because she, gets to have a bigger audience to speak to. And again, like I say, bring people in her world, create a relationship and network. And it helps the people who paid because they're far more incentivized to show up for the thing that they invested in, okay? Number two, bonuses. Giving away free bonuses definitely stacks the offer, creates that irresistible offer and pull that gets people through the door and gets them invested, or not gets them invested, but gets them like super hyped and greedy and salivating for that extra free stuff, and they feel like, oh, it'd be stupid to miss this. But at the end of the day, how many people actually end up opening the bonuses? I've heard the stats for my job at Agora Financial, and it's low. It's like 1%. So it's one of those things, like, you can get them through the door, but are you really helping by stacking such a huge opportunity as much as you could if they were so, then the thing that they're paying for, if that makes sense, right? I'm not saying that bonuses are bad. That's what I don't want you to think. I don't want you to think that giving away free bonuses is stupid. And again, I don't think that giving away free content is bad either. I think what's important is we want to end up helping both parties as much as possible because that's what, creates that lifetime value, okay? So it's all about marketing and sales, right? It's all about the net benefit at the end of the day. Here's one thing I'll say. Okay, so I want to talk about how paying isn't enough. So I say free is bad because it destroys the investment. It kind of ruins the relationship, and nobody really wins all that much, right? It doesn't incentivize persons to take action. So you think the opposite, like the next step is to make someone pay, right? If someone pays, then they'll inherently take more action. Sure, the statistical probability will rise, right? Like, if I paid for it, then I'm more likely to take action. But I still think that paying isn't quite enough. In the book called The Tipping Point, with Malcolm Gladwell wrote that, he talks about the rule of 150. And basically, once an organization gets above the magic number of 150 people, it kind of starts to just fall apart into chaos. Like, productivity suffers, people don't care as much, motivation drops, everything seems to just go to crap after employee number 150. So he followed, there's some case studies about some companies that every time their business hits 150 employees, it splits and becomes a new division or a new business on its own. And at the end of the day, Malcolm Gladwell concludes that what makes these things operate isn't, and this is about where the money comes into play, right? It's peer pressure, all right? It's about having a group small enough where your sales guy knows who your marketing guy is and knows who your design guy is, and they all interface, they all talk to each other, and they all hold each other accountable. They all hold each other responsible for their actions. So it isn't enough just to have a fiscal investment, whether you're receiving money or you're paying money out. That will kind of get you to move, it'll move the needle, it'll get statistical probability to increase for action. But what the rule of 150 demonstrates is that what's even more powerful our social conditions, right? Peer pressure. And what we're talking about here specifically is accountability. And I don't know if you saw this coming, but I actually have one of those groups where you actually can pay to get a group that is small enough and specialized to hold you accountable for reaching your goals, for writing better copy, for just executing on the things that you're supposed to execute on. That's what we're trying to build here at the Copy Squad Inner Circle. Is I'm trying to create not just a place where I host a bunch of trainings, but I have bi-weekly conference calls with everybody, and I want to sit down, run through copy with you, review your emails, whatever it is that you feel like is the leaky part of your funnel or sales process, or the part you're struggling with, maybe your freelance client or your personal business. Let's sit down and talk about that. Let's talk about how to make more money. This is a place to improve skills and income. Obviously, we talked about money, right? The money increases the probability, but whenever you come to the classes or the office hours, right? You come to the office hours where everyone's sitting there talking together, like you can get that real-time feedback. I mean, I'll be there giving feedback, but other professional writers will be there giving feedback as well. Other marketers, other people with businesses and sales processes who have their own individual insights. That's going to create a relationship dynamic of peer pressure. All right, whether you know it or not, whether peer pressure sounds good or bad to you, it is that dynamic of knowing that other people's eyes are on you and they heard you come to office hours and say your weaknesses, and you need to come back in 2 weeks and talk about it again, and you better have fixed that problem. That is far, far more motivating than even money. So what we talked about is, free isn't great. Free can be bad. Free can be bad because it doesn't cause action. It doesn't cause people to move forward, right? Not in the way that paying does, right? Like Oren Klaff says, people value that which they pay for. That investment causes more action. What's even stronger than that? Social dynamics. Things like persuasion and influence triggers are caused by things like reciprocity, right? That's a social construct that causes you to take action, and reciprocity is like one of the most powerful ones. It's not really persuasion. It's a weird debt to others. So I invite you to check out the Copy Squad Inner Circle. Join us on these conference calls. Lay out all your troubles, man. Let people sit down with you and give you feedback. I'll review your copy and help in any capacity that I can. And there'll also be trainings available for you. All right, thanks so much for tuning in, Copy Squad. I hope this was useful and inspiring. And I'll catch you on the next free video. Peace out.